Did you ever try to make an image generator tool? You can say that, come on, I don't know coding. But what if I say that I made this entire image generator tool by using AI only, and also without any kind of costing, and where you can actually give the prompt of the image, and also you can select the style, and after clicking generate image you can actually get the image you want, and from that also you can download the image. So watch the video until the end, and after watching the video I'm sure that you can make this same tool by yourself in very easy way. So at the first, as you can see that on n8n, and if you don't know about n8n, that's an automation platform, or just you can say that like an AI agent builder. Anyone can use that because it doesn't need any kind of coding knowledge or a very high technical knowledge. And the thing is like this, it's not free, but if you sign up in here, you can actually just go with like 14 days free trial, and also they will give you 1000 execution limits, and after that you can actually just go with the pro version. So as you can see that like there is like a small create workflow section. I'm just going with this one, and as you can see our workflow has been created successfully, and which is very easy. I'm just zooming out a little bit so like it will just look good. Okay, so at the first, for a project we need to set up a AI model, the AI model that will just work in here to generate text to image, kind of this thing. So as I said, the thing will be for free, so obviously we have to go with an AI model, and that also, you know, kind of like give you the API key for free, and you can actually just use that. So as you can see that like there's a plus icon. I'm just going with this one, and here I'm setting a HTTP module, so I'm just going HTTP, and there's a HTTP request. I'm just going with this one, and in here we actually install our AI models. In this case we are using together.ai, and that's the actually you can say an API store, and from here we actually get the API key that we are just really wanting, and in this case we are using actually the Flux 9.1 model. So how can you actually get that? So at the first, if you're not you know, kind of like don't know about together AI or doesn't, you know, go with these things, so you have to just sign up the first, and in my case I'm just going to sign in with my Google account. You can just go to LinkedIn, GitHub, kind of these things. So as you can see it's just working, and yeah, that's the accounts in here, and actually they will give like $1 as in like a free balance, or just as like, you know, free credentials, kind of this thing. So you have to just go with kind of here you can actually just see that view all models. You have to just go with this option, and you can actually just see all of the models, and here you can see that they actually just give also free models and also the pro models. So we actually just need a image generator, so that like you can see that in the type section they're like chat or just moderation, and in the pricing they're just giving the pricing. And if we just drag down a little bit, we can actually just get those image generators, and as you can see these are the image generators, and most of them are not free, but we have to just find out which one is free, and in our case we're actually using this one, which is Flux 0.1 Snail, this one, and we have to just go with this. And as you can see this is the AI model in here. So what you have to do is you have to just drag down again a little bit, and here you can see that like how you can actually use that run interference. And in here if you just go in the Python section, you can actually, which is already in default in Python code, if you can actually use manually in your in your project if you're using Python. Also you can just go with TypeScript, and also you can just go with curl. So in this case I'm just using curl for our case, because like we actually just need a curl code. So what I'm just doing here is I'm just copying the curl code, and then I'm just going in our n8n workflow, and here you can see that there's a small icon in here which is called import curl. I'm just going with this, and here I'm giving the curl code that we actually just copied from the Together AI. So what I'll just do, I'll just go with import, and right now you can see that like all the blanks are just filled up. So yeah, all the things are good, but here we have to just do a little bit things. At the first, as you can see that authorization, which is mean the API key we have to just give in here, and here is the API key is not doesn't given, so we have to just give the API key in here. So what you have to do is we have to just go to Together AI again, and in here if I just go to my profile, and after that if I just go to the settings, and in the settings section I can just see that there's an option like which is called API keys, and from here I'm just going and copying the API key, and as you can see it's copied. So I'm just going here again, and here if I just show in the expression you can understand better like what I'm just doing. So I'm just deleting this part which is Together API key, this thing, and after and after the space, and then I'm just giving the kind of like the API key, and as you can see that that's the API key, and that's it. And if I just drag down again, here you can see that like it's a, you know, sending data, kind of this thing, send body using the JSON format, and giving the name, the model, and kind of this thing. So there's a little bit problem that if you just work with this one, it will not just work. So in here we have to just do some edits. So what I have to do is I'm just turning off this, and after turning off you can see like all of the things after the sand body is gone. So we have to just go with again sand body, and from here I'm just going with kind of like JSON, and from here I'm just going with like using JSON. That's it. In here we have to just give the code, and the code is actually in here. Again, I'm just going to our AI model, which is this one. Okay, so again just going in the call section, and as you can see that that's the code. You can see the D, and that's actually the body. So what I'm just copying this thing, if you see closely, and you can see that like I didn't copy the kind of like the quotations marks, so I just copy this thing, and then I came here again, then I'm just giving this, and as you can see that that's the setup will really look like. And also we can do some edits, kind of like if you just I'm just going with n1. N means how many images you want, so I'm just going with one image every time, and for that I'm just going with steps 4. So basically for one image your steps have to be between 1 to 4. So I'm just going the steps 4, and also we can actually just give the height and the width. So I'm just also giving the height, so like it will just give a very good image. Okay, so you can actually just give this manually like this, and then I'm just going with kind of like 512, and again I'm just going with the width. Okay, the width, and again I'm just going with 512 like this. Very simple. I'm not doing anything else, and as you can see how it really looks like, you have to I'm just going with like 1:1 image, so that's why I'm just giving the same height and width. You can just go with another ratio. It actually depends like what kind of projects you want to just make, how your outputs will be. And remember that like the images ratio, it means the height and width have to be the multiplier of 16. So remember that. And then actually so like, and then as you can see everything is done. So let me see that it works or not. And our prompt is like in default, which is called the cats eating popcorn. So let me see if it works or not. I'm just going with execute step. It's working, which is super good though, which is like executing node. As you can see, it just takes a little bit time because it depends on the height and width. And remember that you can't go more than kind of like 6 requests per every minute, kind of this thing. Remember that. So let me see that like how the image looks like. As you can see, our image is in the URL section, which is this one. If I just go in the JSON, okay, so that's the image actually, but it's in URL format, so we have to just see the image. So to do that, I'm just going with again a HTTP request, so that like I can break the URL and in like a binary file, so that like I can see the image. So I'm just going with like again HTTP request, and from here I'm just going with get method, and in the URL I'm just dragging that down. That's it. And let me see the image, and as you can see it's executed node, and it's right now in the binary format, so I can just see the image. That's it, cats eating popcorns, which is super good. Right now actually the main important two things are done. So we also have to set up a webhook and also set up a webhook responder. So how we can actually do that? So I'm just deleting this thing, which is like one clicking executing workflow, delete, and then I'm actually just adding node, and from here I'm just going with this one, which is called on webhook call, because like we actually attaching this thing to a website, so that's why we have to just use that on webhook call. And from here I'm not doing anything, but in here in the response section I'm just going with using respond to webhook node. That's it. And then I'm just like attaching this with the HTTP request, and then also in the last I'm just going with the respond to webhook, this one. And as you can see, like in the respond with, you can actually just also set like what you want to just really send. I'm just going with the binary file. Actually the binary file is the image, so that's why actually we are just only sending the image. So in this case I'm just going with binary file, but in your case if you are like making another tool which actually just kind of like takes text, or just the output have to be text, kind of this thing, maybe you just actually make a SEO tool, or just kind of this thing, or a like a kind of like anything just that actually just work with text and images at the both time. So in this case you have to just go with like all incoming items. So we can actually just go with that, but in this case I'm just becoming so much strategic. I'm just I'm just going with like binary file. That's it. So as you can see, our first step is done. We actually just set up the AI model and also set up our backend and kind of like this nodes. These things actually I refer as like a backend. So right now we have to just make the front end and the things the user actually see. This thing user will not see. So what you have to do is you have to just go to Lovable, and as you can see I'm on Lovable and I already created an account, and also that's free. The Lovable actually just give you kind of like 30 credentials for every month if you just go with the free plan. So what happened is like for every chat, when you just request something or just give a prompt kind of this thing, it actually cut off 1 credential, and every day in like 24 hours you can just send 5 messages. So this like the free version really work. Like if you are watching this video right now, maybe in the future maybe they will change the plans kind of like this. So in here I have to give the the prompt for the thing that we want to just make. So to do that, actually just I already made a prompt. So from here I'm just giving this prompt. Actually you can say the prompt for the tool we actually just making. So let me just breaking down everything so that like you can understand that how actually just I given the prompt. So at the first I said like create an AI photo generator for free. So it means the tool is free and user can use that for free. So in your case it can be different. You can say like that's a subscription based tool, the user have to give that much amount of money. You can actually send kind of like screenshots, for example, like attach images. For example, if I just go with like a AIimagegenerator, and you can see that like the bunch of AI image generators, and if I just go with this one AIimagegenerator, that's then you can just go with, if I just go with the try freemium, you can see that like they actually just selling these things for like 1.49 per month, which is like very low, 80 credentials per every month. And if you just go with premium kind of this thing, so you can actually just kind of like give a screenshot kind of like this and actually just send that in here that you want to just make a framework set like that. So also that is possible. So I'm just going with, and then I'm just saying that like the named as photo AI, so that the AI tool will be named. Then I said why user will give a image description or a prompt and select a style. So the style also I just mentioned the styles. From these styles, anime, realistic, 3D cartoon, cyberpunk and Ghibli. So actually I just tried it already, like what kind of styles images that our AI model can give, which is I'm using the Flux.1 Snail. That model can actually just give this kind of images, which is super good, and I will just show you very soon like how it really gives. And then I said like send the user's input means the image description on the prompt and chosen style. Okay, chosen style to this Webhook address. Then I'm just giving the Webhook URL. So in here I will just give the Webhook address. So I'm just deleting this, and then I'll just come here. Okay, so I have to just go in the Webhook, and from here I'm in the test URL, not in the production URL. I'm in the test URL. So I'm just going and clicking this. So as you can see, it's copied already. So what I have to do is kind of like come here again, and then like in the place of Webhook URL I'm just giving this, which is the test URL, by the way, because like very soon you can understand that why I'm using test, and after hyphen test, that's the test URL actually like really means. And if you just delete that, that will be a production URL. And if you just go down a little bit, you can see that like after sending the input to the Webhook, wait for the Webhook response until it show the user a loading tab animation. And also I said the Webhook response will be generated image in binary file. And so actually you can see that like in the response to Webhook have to be binary file, so that's why I just clarified that. In your case it can be different if you're just working with something else. And then I'm just saying that the website will be very good looking, easy to use and professional. Use very good looking colors to attract the users, kind of like this, very simple. And as you can see, that's the prompt, and you can see the magic very soon. I'm just going with the send, and it will just take kind of like 3 to 5 minutes. In some cases it just go with kind of like 2 minutes, and in some cases it just go with 5 minutes. As you can see, it's working right now, and it's actually just created the whole thing, and also just kind of like analyzing the my prompt, and actually just started working on that, and just kind of like saying what kind of layout it's just working with. And also if you just go in the coding section, which is like this one, and like you can see code viewer, and if I just enable that, you can actually just see the things, means the coding actually just, and as you can see all the codes in here, kind of like the main.tsx and also the index.css, and it's also started like working, and also still now it's working right now. So I'm just kind of like stopping the code overview. So as you can see, it just said that my project has been done, and right now it will just show me the like tool that it actually just made it. So as you can see, it's loading right now, and as I said, like it actually just takes a little bit time. And yeah, that's super cool. Like as you can see, our like tool name, which is like photo AI, and just says like transfer your imagination into stunning visual with our powerful AI image generator. And also it says like free AI image generation. And as you can see, like it also added kind of like animations and kind of these things, which is super good though. And if I just go with this thing, I can actually just see the full tool in a like in realistic ways, like how it will really look like, kind of this thing. I'm just doing this. Okay, so that's the thing actually. So let me just see that is it works or not. So I'm just going with kind of like describe my image. So I'm just going with very simple one, kind of like okay, that's it. I'm just going with like describing myself. Then I'm just going with anime. Okay, choosing the style anime. So in here actually we're just going with the testing process, so we have to just go with execute workflow. So as you can see right now it's listening. Yeah, it's listening right now, so like we can understand that is there any problem or not. Okay, so okay, maybe some kind of problems happening in here. Okay, it said generation failed again, so maybe there's some kind of problems is going on. So what you have to do is, if you face any kind of problems like this, you have to just copy the thing. Let me just say that like it says generation failed and it's not sending the image prompt to the given Webhook address. So I'm just giving the Webhook address again in here, so that like if it just kind of like facing any kind of problem, you can understand that. I'm just going with stop listening, and then again giving the test URL in here. Again I'm just going with this one, and then I'm seeing that like what's the problem is really is. Like it will just automatically analyze the problem, that what's the problem really is. So yeah, as you can see, it just says looking at the console logs and network request, it just kind of like there's a problem. And also it's just working on the writing index.tsx. If I just show you in the code, index.tsx, which is this one, it's actually just working on this, and it's actually figured it out that there's a problem in this code basically. So that's why it just is showing you this thing, which is super cool, man. Just you typing, and from that you actually just getting everything. Only have to just know a little bit English, that's it. Even you don't have to say, you only have to write, by the way. So let me check that is it works or not. So I'm just going and giving the describe of the image. I'm just going with the same image, kind of like I'm just going with anime, and I have to just come here again, and I have to just start the workflow. I just go with execute workflow. So right now, as you can see, it's listening right now. So I'm just going and sending that again, generate image. So it says like image generated, but the main problem is like we actually just given the default prompt, which is like two cats eating popcorns, kind of this. So that's why just giving this image. So we have to just work on that, obviously. Okay, right now as you can see that like if you just drag down a little bit of the Webhook, again I'm just on the Webhook actually, which is actually just getting the image description and also the style. So if you drag down, you can see that's the prompt and that's the style. So I have to just edit a little bit in here, which is in the second node, which is actually the APR key node. So if I just drag again down, and in there, which is actually the JSON code, I have to just work in here. So in the prompt, if I just go in the expression, you can actually just see that what I actually just really did. So in the expression on the prompt, so I'm just deleting this one, the default one of the prompt, and I'm just going with the image description. From here you can see it like there's a prompt and there's a style. So I'm just going with the prompt in the prompt section, between the double quotations, and then I say like in, and then I go in the style, mentioning the style, that which style have to be followed in this style, and then saying in this style. And if you can see in the right side, you can see it like a man typing on his keyboard in anime style. That's it, which is super good. So let me just see that is it works or not. Again I'm just going with save, then I'm going with like execute workflow. Right now it's listening, so right now it will actually give the images that I'm just really wanting. So I'm just going with again, yeah, that's it. So I'm just going with like 3D cartoon, so to see that like is it works properly or not. Then I'm just going like generate image. So as you can see, it is working. And if you just go in the test workflow, as you can see, the workflow has been started and the image generation, and then yeah, super good. And yeah, as you can see, the boy is like drinking water in 3D way, so it's good, very good though. So we can actually just go in here, and again, just as you can see, like the image quality is not that much good. So to increase the image quality, so I'm just came here again, and I'm just going to like HTTP request, and in the HTTP request I have to just drag down again, and I'm just going the JSON code, and as you can see, the height and the weight is like 512 as I like did already. So I'm just increasing that, and by the way, the height and weight have to be, again I'm saying, the multiplier of 16. So actually I just use ChatGPT for that, like what's the best ratios of like kind of multiplier of 16, and it's just giving this thing. If you want 1:1, go with like 512. If you're going like 3:1, kind of like landscape, portrait, what kind of like image style you want, just go with kind of this thing. So if you go in the last, which is the 1:1, which is the 768 ratio, which is a high quality score, so I'm just going for that, like 768. So because like I'm just really wanting like kind of like 1:1 images. Okay, 768, and then I'm just copying this thing and 768, that's it. Okay, let me just see that how image will be, but before that I'm just also changing the production URL. So what I have to do is kind of like going the production URL. So let me say that why I'm doing this, because you can see that like every time I have to just came, and then I have to execute the workflow, I just have to click that. So not to do that, like this thing have to be automated, means it will just run by cloud. You can just give your friend to just try that. You can't just come and just every time just go with like test the workflow kind of this thing. So to do that, I'm just going with the production URL. It will be worked properly. Just going with activated. Right now it is activated. Okay, got it. So as you can see, it's activated, and then came here again. So in here I have to replace the webhooks. What I will just say that replace the previous webhook with this webhook. So that's the webhook I'm just giving, is this one, and actually just literally copy it from the production URL. So that's it. It says like you have like 2 free credentials left, which is super good. Like in only 3 credentials I just did everything. So let me just go with like in this view so that I can understand everything. Okay, so our webhook or the workflow is right now activated. So let me just go in the execution to show you that without our just touching anything, how it just really works. And as you can see, like that's the last execution, 1649 kind of this thing. Okay, so let me show you that how it will just work right now. So I'm just going with kind of like a happy dolphin. Is it good? Okay, so I'm just going with kind of like Ghibli style, and then I just go with generate image. So as you can see, just working, and right now the image generation is like so much speedy if you just compare with the another one, because right now it's activated, so that's why. And also if you go in the executions, you can see the last executions. Let me just go and auto refresh that. Okay, so that's the execution just really happened, which is like 1652 kind of this thing. And if I just really stop my n8n right now, because it's activated right now, if I just stop that, I stopped it, and even if I just kind of like stop everything, so if I just give this link to anyone, just right now it will not just work in this way, because right now it's not activated. But if you just buy a domain and hosting, then if you activate your website, this one, and if you just give that in the internet, or just just giving in your school or kind of this thing, giving in your community, and they can just generate images like very easy way. So let me just go with another one. I just go with a man subscribe. Yep, and then I'm just going with kind of like realistic way. Okay, then I'll just go. Let me say something, guys. If you think that is not like easy for you and you want very easy process, so actually I had given this template on my Gumroad, and also I just given the prompt of the tool and also the setup process kind of this thing as in PDF on the Gumroad, so you can actually use that. So let me say that how you can actually use the template. So only you have to just go in the after creating an n8n account, only you have to just go with the create workflow, and after that you have to just go with kind of like import from file, and after going import from file, you have to just give the kind of like this thing. And as you can see, it's already set up. You don't have to just go with kind of like the technical process like this thing. Only you have to just give this thing after the BRR, the API key that we actually just use the together API. Just go here, and then in your settings you can actually just get the API key, which is in the settings in the API key, which is this. I already showed you how you can actually get the API key, this one. So then just give the API key, and that's all set up. And yeah, if you want to just get that, I had given on my description on the Gumroad, you can actually get that. That's it. I hope like this video helped you. Make sure to give a like and subscribe to the channel, and our image is already ready. This guy's also saying subscribe, so please subscribe to the channel for more videos. Inshallah, you'll find more values in the future. And that's it, guys. Peace out.